Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, everyone. The New Year's is arriving. So, we're going to talk about potential fights for 2025. The best potential fights for 2025. I thought of a lot of them. I have some to go through. Of course, there's going to be hundreds of fights we can make. The UFC needs to watch this video and listen to me because these are going to be the best fights to make. The best fights to make. First, make sure to like, subscribe. Petr Yan versus Sean O'Malley 2. We have Umar versus Merab in January. Book this fight. Petr Yan versus Sean O'Malley 2 for the number one contenders fight. Book it for March or even put it on the February card with Strickland and Dricus if you have time to, which I doubt they will. So put it on the March card. Why not? This fight is perfect. Their first fight could have gone either way a lot. Most people thought Petr Yan actually won, but it was still a scrap of a fight, and this is the perfect fight to make for the number one contenders. It's a no-brainer. This is the next fight the UFC should be making right away. Let's go here. Valentina Shevchenko versus Zhang Weili. Zhang Weili is booked up in February, I believe, fighting Tatiana Suarez. That's going to be a great fight. Tatiana Suarez is very good. I can see her winning and beating Zhang Weili. But if Zhang Weili gets through Tatiana Suarez, this is the fight to make. These are two greats. Valentina Shevchenko, one of the GOATs of women fighting. Zhang Weili also getting there. She's really good. This is the fight to make, only 10 pounds apart. Zhang Weili is 115. Valentina Shevchenko is 125. This is a no-brainer. This is a fight that needs to happen in 2025. And stylistically, it'll be very, very good too. So, yeah, let's go here. Leon Edwards versus Ian Garry is the only fight that they should try to make, especially after UFC 310, seeing Ian Garry's performance. And it just makes sense now. Jack Della Maddalena and Kamaru Usman should be fighting on the February card, but it hasn't been officially announced yet, so I'm getting kind of worried for that. And that tells me they're probably going to do maybe Sean Brady versus Leon Edwards in London. I believe there's a fight night in London. They're probably going to do that, but they should do Ian Garry versus Leon Edwards. This is a great fight stylistically. This is amazing. Leon Edwards, very good grappler. Ian Garry has improved his grappling a lot. We saw it in the Shavkat fight. We saw it in the MVP fight. So yeah, and kickboxers. They're both kickboxers. They're both very good at it too. I can see Ian Garry winning this. I would probably have Ian Garry in this fight. It depends. Because Leon, I don't know, I might make a video on why I think he's overrated. I've been thinking about that recently. But yeah. Guys. Okay, I'll just do this one. Because I know this one was pretty obvious I was going to put on there. Sherbutin Magomedov versus Paulo Costa. Now, Sherbutin has a matchup against Michael Venom Page in February 1st against Michael Venom Page. I just said that. On the same card as Izzy versus Imavov. Now, this fight is a fight to make. I thought they should have booked this right after Sherbutin's last fight against Petrosian, but I guess they didn't, so whatever. So Sherbutin's next fight, if he gets through MVP, which that stylistically, I don't know why Sherbutin would take it. He's a guy for the fans, I guess, and he did a great job in 2024. I thought he could have been nominated for, one of the fighters that did really good in 2024. Maybe not fighter of the year, but he was definitely in that top 5. I think this is a no-brainer if he beats MVP. I believe Paulo Costa, where is he on these rankings? He's 11th, actually. If he beats MVP, I think he might look past Paulo Costa then and do the loser of Imavov versus Adesanya. If Adesanya loses to Imavov, Sherbutin Magomedov versus Adesanya is the fight to make. So, That could definitely be something. Uh, and if Paulo Costa is just sitting there, I know they only give him big fights, so even if he beats MVP, they still might give him Sheributo Magomedov. Perfect fight to make. Very fun fight to watch. All right, I'll just go straight next to the next one. I just said that again. Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall. I don't have to say it enough. I don't have to say it again. This is the obvious fight to make. Jon Jones, the heavyweight champion. Tom Aspinall, the heavyweight champion. You can't have two champions, so put them against each other. Give Jon Jones all the money he wants. Just give it to him and make the fight happen. I really don't have to say much more for this. Diego Lopez versus Movsar Evloev 2 might just be the fight to make. Or a fight I want to see in 2025. A fight that'll be very good in 2025. And a fight that most likely happens in 2025. Depends who Volkanovski fights next. Ilia Topuria wants to do next. Depends what he wants to do next. But if he wants to stay at 145, he might fight Volk or he might fight Diego Lopez. It has to be one of them. I think they should give it to Volk. Why not? Get that fight out of the way. Don't have him wait out even more. And then do Evloev versus Diego Lopez. In the meantime, I think Evloev is on paper he's really more deserving than Diego Lopez for the belt. I think they should either just give Evloev a title shot straight up. I would really love to see that matchup. I should have put that on here. Evloev versus Ilia Topuria. But obviously, Diego Lopez and Evloev's first fight was a banger. I went back and forth, changed a lot of positions. Very good fight. And everyone would want to see it again, especially since they are way better now. Or not way better now. The fight was only, like a year ago? So yeah, this is the fight to make. No brainer in 2025. Now, I couldn't find an image of both of them. I really could have just put both of them beside. Doesn't matter. Aljamain Sterling versus Brian Ortega. Guys, another no-brainer. Aljamain Sterling just went toe-to-toe with Movsar Evloev. I personally thought he could have won that fight. And I think a few people did think that too. People underestimate Aljo, and they really shouldn't. He's really good, and he just showed it against Evloev by beating Evloev. So they toss him in with Brian Ortega. Where is Brian Ortega in the rankings? He's number 6 now. He did beat Yair Rodriguez. I don't know why he's not above him. He would be number 5, but I guess they just realized Yair is just better than him, even though he did lose. But still, Aljo versus Brian Ortega, 2 grapplers, no brainer, and it puts Aljo even closer to the title. I would like to see them do Aljo versus Yair Rodriguez too, but it doesn't matter. Either one of those works for me. Stylistically, great fight. Brian Ortega really good at jiu-jitsu. Aljo really good at wrestling and jiu-jitsu. I think Aljo would maul Brian Ortega personally. So why not give him the fight? Get this guy close to the belt. He's more popular than you think. So yeah, guys, Dricus versus Khamzat Chimaev is the only fight I want to see. Or actually, just Khamzat versus the winner of Sean Strickland and Dricus. Either or, it'll be good. Dricus versus Khamzat. Dricus, a defending champ, a guy who has 2 championship fights and won them both against Adesanya and Strickland. And also stylistically a worse matchup for Khamzat than Sean Strickland would be. Or they do Sean Strickland versus Khamzat. Obviously, it's Khamzat versus the winner of them. Khamzat versus Dricus, the build-up for that fight would be really good if the UFC did it properly. I know they suck at promoting everything now. If they did a couple press conferences beforehand, maybe even a world tour press conference, which I doubt Khamzat would do, but whatever. And then think of it, Khamzat versus Strickland too would be the best build-up too, because Strickland isn't afraid to say anything, and at press conferences he would go crazy attacking, Khamzat's country, family, whatever he wants. So doesn't matter. This is the fight to make. Manel Kape versus Pantoja 2 would be a great fight. Manel Kape just got booked against Brandon Royval for a number 1 contenders match. Brandon Royval is ranked number 1, I believe, which he should be. He is. And Manel Kape just got pushed up 3. He's 6 now. This is a really good fight to make. Their first fight was actually Pantoja Manel Kape. The first fight was actually pretty competitive, more competitive than people thought. And now this is a couple years later, and they're way better now. And especially after Manel Kape's last performance on the UFC Fight Night, amazing, absolutely amazing. So it's perfect. It's perfect. Now, Ilia Topuria versus Islam or Charles Oliveira or both. Topuria versus Charles Oliveira. This is the fight to make. The UFC should do this after, maybe do it right away or after Ilia gets one more title defense versus Oliveira. Great fight. If he gets through Oliveira, do Islam Makhachev. No brainer. I'm not going to speak on that more. Now I believe, because I've already like derided this fight too much and Ilia and Islam too much. Now, sorry, Ankalaev versus Pereira. Guys, this is a no-brainer. Ankalaev is the rightful contender. Alex Pereira obviously is a champion, defending champion 3 times or 2 times. Or wait, 3 times I think he defended the belt. What, against Jamal Hill he defended, Yuri he defended, Khalil Rountree. 3-time defending champion Alex Pereira against the rightful number 1 contender Magomed Ankalaev. This would be Pereira's true grappling test, and it would be Ankalaev's truest striking test. If Ankalaev wants to go in there and strike, he's going to get knocked out. So I think after that first calf kick, he takes on Pereira, he's going to shoot, and we are going to see Pereira's wrestling get tested. Guys, that was a video for today. Fights I want to see in 2025. Fights that should happen in 2025, 2020, 2025. And fights the UFC needs to make in 2020-25. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment whatever you want. Guys, like the video. It's free to do that. Subscribe, it's free to do that. And comment, it's free to do that. Like, subscribe, comment. I'm going to say it for the 8th time. Peace out.